Alright, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. So we got the kit release of the new Legends Limited Goku and Bardock character. We know that it is a green switch to blue character. Sorry, blue switch to green character. Very, very exciting. They talked about the unique gauge. It didn't seem like the most crazy thing in the world. Not having to worry about key effects and card destruction, especially in the late game, is kind of... I don't know, the early game really pivots the direction of the fight, and oftentimes the match is decided within the first 30 seconds, 30 timer counts, so we'll have to see how this plays in game, but I do think that the remainder of their kit could be what make these guys shine. They're putting a lot into this character, mainly because we only have 2 EXs and this guy as a part 2. Not the most exciting thing, but at the same time, you know, they went off crazy with part 1, and I guess there's also Chrono Crystal fatigue with the player base, because, I mean, what's the flip side? 2 more Legends Limited characters with a new 1% sparking for part 2, and then part 3 is an Ultra? I don't know. Can't win them all. So I'm, for one, just going to be going into it with some optimism and see what this character can do. If the fire alarm goes off, I apologize. For whatever reason, my apartment building is on fire every, you know, Tuesday and Thursday for some reason. So if it happens, my bad. Now's your chance to finally see this extraordinary father-son duo battle it out together in Legends. The Legends Limited Tag character Goku and Bardock join the fight. Goku is blue while Bardock is green. This character's main feature is the new ability Indestructible. Thanks to Indestructible, when this character receives an attack that would reduce its health to 0, it will remain undefeated until the end of the enemy combo. Not only that, Indestructible allows you to withstand the attack that nullifies endurance effects, meaning Rising Rush from UVB, UGB, endurance ultimates and whatnot won't kill this guy. Basically, this guy just doesn't die. Rush him, ultimate him, doesn't matter. Indestructible will save him. The ultimate Rising Rush surviving character. After surviving the enemy's attack with Indestructible, health will be restored and unfavorable element factors will be nullified, giving you the chance to jump right back in the fight. So they heal and go to type neutral. This character also has a unique gauge. When it's full, nullify enemies, destroy card, reduce key, and reduce Dragon Ball effects. This will give you the chance to really put on the pressure without fear of having your cards destroyed or key reduced. With the ability to reduce enemy card draw speed when entering the battlefield, as well as reduce their strike and blast art's power when performing a cover change, Goku possesses excellent defensive capabilities. Meanwhile, Bardock excels at offense, being able to reduce blast costs and also increase crit rate after landing 3 or more hits with strike arts or blast arts. Experience the indestructible fighting spirit of Legends Limited Goku and Bardock. Right out the gate, unique gauge doesn't sound that strong. One thing I do like though is you get cover null after landing 2 cards and then increase crit rate afterwards. I like that. I wish they started off with that at the beginning of the game before everyone just showed up with uncancelable free cover null. That would have made more sense because you still have to earn it. I have to land 2 cards, so you as the person taking damage can play around that. Oh, I know he's going to drop combo on the second one. Or, oh, I know he's really banking on landing that second card, so I'm going to anticipate a drop combo, or I'm going to cover change. There was play around that. I think that's always good game design, instead of what UVB and Janemba have. Either way, I like that design. It's just a shame that's not a favorable design, given that there's just better for free. Alright. We are Goku. We are Blue, Saiyan, Sun family. Team Bardock. Do remember that tag switch characters get access to all the tags that are present. So even if Bardock is the one with Team Bardock, when we're with the Goku side, we get it, which means we have access to some pretty nifty equips. Tag switch ability. Tag switch to Bardock. Switch his own element to element green. Restores own health by 10% and ki by 40. Applies the attribute upgrade, shorten sub count by 2 to self. This is actually pretty good because remember, this is the guy that can't die from a one-shot ever. So you probably like the idea of being able to tag into him. Effects reset after the character switch. 20% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. Increases zone card draw speed by 1 level for 10 counts. I'm a little bit worried because there's no get a card. His Z ability. 3% to special move damage inflicted by Saiyans. And 38% to tag Saiyan. Episode Game Originals or Tag Sun Family Strike Attack and Defense. So it's a strike unit, despite Bardock being a ranged Zenkai. Alright, strike cards. Strike Impact applies attribute upgrade minus 10% to enemy sustained damage cut effects with blast armor. That's pretty good. Kid Buu had this, but Kid Buu is a defense type. These guys are a melee type, meaning they're probably going to hit a lot harder. Blast. Restore on ki by 5 upon activation. Pretty good. Help sustain those combos. Special move. Deals massive impact damage. Applies the following effects to self upon activation. 50% of special move damage inflicted for 3 counts. Nullify enemy restore health when it reaches 0 effects when this character attacks for 3 timer counts. Seal enemy special arts on hit. Sealed arts cannot be used for 5 timer counts. Blast armor when charging forward. Sealing up green cards. That's pretty good. But the biggest one has to be nullify enemies restore on health when it reaches 0 effects when this character attacks for 3 timer counts. Because that's always nice when you miss the blue and you smack him with a rush. Gotta love those. Sealing up the green card means that characters like Janemba won't be able to take away the Dragon Ball, so you actually can smack them with the rush. You don't have to worry about the rush being snuffed away from you. Green card with Goku. Applies the following effects to self upon activation. Draw a strike card. Restore 50 ki. 15% damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. 15% to health restore for 15 timer counts. Applies the buff effect nullify cover change. Very nice for 5 timer counts. And you can chain it with a strike, blast, or blue card if the unique gauge is full when you pop this green card. Applies the following effects upon activation. Applies attribute upgrade minus 20% to enemy sustained damage cut effects. Very strong. Starting out with minus 20. Cancel attribute downgrades that are normal conditions and all the usual fun stuff. Looking pretty good. Very reminiscent of Goku and Frieza's green card when you're on the Goku side, but there's no lock-in and you get covered ult instead. Unique ability 1. Here we go. We are Goku. 20% to strike damage inflicted against LOE. Applies the following effects to self when the battle starts. 100% damage inflicted. 70% reduced damage received with level 1 card draw speed. So I guess that's where the tag switch happens, because when you switch into Bardock, you have level 2 card draw speed. Minus 7 to strike and blast arts cost. Minus 10 to blue card cost. The following effects occur when this character shows up on the battlefield. His unique gauge is charged by 40% and restores his own ki by 20. He gets 60% damage inflicted, and the enemy is hit with minus 1 card draw speed for 15 timer counts. So first passive, 160% damage inflicted. Pretty good. Applies the following effects to self according to the number of times this character's strike or blast arts have hit. Hit him once, you get 20% damage inflicted. Hit him a second time, you get cover nullification for 5 timer counts. Hit him 3 or more times, 10% to strike damage inflicted for 15 counts. This resets when you perform a tag switch. The following effects occur when changing cover. 15% damage inflicted, plus 10% to strike damage inflicted for 20 counts. The enemy is hit with a minus 10% to strike and blast arts power for 20 counts. Inflict enemy with the attribute downgrade minus 20% to blue card, ultimate or awaken arts power as well. Draw a blue card when this character enters the battlefield through a tag switch if the unique gauge is full. So that's pretty good. Guaranteed a blue card. But remember the tag 4 is the Goku side got it for free. So this is a interesting one, but that's a lot of damage already. Unique ability number 2, knock enemy back to long range if a cover change is performed against a strike card, chainable with the blue. We already knew this. The following effects occur on receiving an attack that reduces own health to 0. Applies the effect, cannot be defeated, cancels own attribute downgrades that are normal conditions, nullifies own attribute downgrades that are normal conditions, so he now goes type neutral. Reduces enemy ki by 50, randomly destroys 2 enemy cards, inflict all enemies with no switching for 5 timer counts as well. If you play around the cannot be defeated mode, like you make your opponent vanish and then they get priority on you and they throw a rising rush with that character and you go into this guy, you're just free to kill the enemy's enemy, right? Because imagine the scenario. Let's say I'm Frieza. I vanished. I perfect vanished you or something. And I start with a combo and then I go for a rising rush and I go to this guy. Cannot be defeated procs. You lost any cards you may have drawn. You lost 50 ki. I'm type neutral and you have no vanish and you're locked in. So what am I going to do? I can just smack you with a blast armor strike, or I'm going to rush you. One of those things. Rushing is probably not a good example given this is Goku Frieza, but you get what I'm saying. Very nice. Once the cannot be defeated is ended, charges your own unique gauge by 50%, restores health by 50%, nullifies unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 15 counts, slightly charges own unique gauge every time this character uses their switch ability. Once the unique gauge is filled, you get 30% to damage inflicted. You get the nullify enemies destroy card effects for 20 counts, nullify reduce key effects for 20 counts, nullify reduce Dragon Balls for 20 counts. I'm gonna be honest, this might be one of the weaker unique abilities, unique gauges, because these buff effects for only 20 counts once you actually fill the unique gauge. I don't know. Applies the following effects to self every time when hit with an enemy special move, ultimate, or awakened attack when this character is on the field. Restore 10% of your health, charge your switch gauge by 70%, 20% to damage inflicted for 20 counts. I don't know, it's almost like they want you to just proc a unique gauge, aka Janemba, super early with this guy, and then you get all these effects applied to you, and then you can just go crazy. That's what it feels like, but I don't know. This is not a strong mid to late game ability. Alright, we're going to go to Bardock, the Bardock side, the hyper offensive side. So from the switch ability from Bardock to Goku, we will switch our own element to element blue, restore on health by 10% and ki by 40, shorten sub count by 2. Effect resets on character switch, 20% damage inflicted, and we get a card draw speed level. So this is where we're going to get that guaranteed card because we have level 2 card draw speed. Bardock Strike is just like Goku's. With Blast Armor 2, he gets the minus 10% enemy sustained damage cut effects, and he has Blast Armor, and his Blast card is the same as well. His blue card looks to be the same thing. The only difference is he seals blue cards. Bardock seals blue cards on hit. It's also another melee-based one because it has Blast Armor. His green card, you're guaranteed a strike. Restore 50 key, 15% strike damage, 15% health restore, nullify cover change, comboable. Yeah, it's the exact same. Okay, so same green card. Unique ability 1, 20% extra strike damage against Lineage of Evil. When you show up on the field, charge his own unique gauge by 40%, restore 20 key, 50% to own key recovery, which makes sense given that this guy is the hyper combo guy. Inflict the enemy with the attribute downgrade minus 25% to health restore. Okay, pretty good. Applies the following effects to self according to the number of times this character uses strike or blast. Similar to Goku, the difference is on the 3 or more, this guy gets 25% to crit rate for 15 counts. Crit rate paired alongside the blue card damage, you'll see a lot of one-shots. I think we all know it, right? When the blue card hits with crits, it sounds like Call of Duty hit markers, and it's just a satisfying... That's probably what's going to happen here. Plus the following effects to self when the enemy switches while this character is on the battlefield. 20% to damage inflicted, 10% to strike damage inflicted, 30% key recovery, minus 5 to blast arts cost. You're going to see this all the time anyway, so this is pretty good. More damage, more key recovery, lower costs, because remember this character already has low costs, but this is good for comboing. Draw a special move card next when this character enters the battlefield through the tank switch, similar to Goku. Unique ability 2, it looks like they have the exact same cover changes against a strike card, chainable with the blue. They have the same cannot be defeated passive and ability, and it seems to apply the exact same thing. So the same unique gauge charge, the same key reduction, the same destroy cards, the same no switching, as well as the exact same unique ability when filled ability. How do we feel about this? I think this character is good, but I don't think they're like Goku and Frieza, if that makes sense. They are not Goku and Frieza after they got their buff. I think I think they're more like Goku and Frieza before the buff. Do you know what I mean? It's a character that is strong, with some drawbacks, but acceptable ones because the character can still perform. That is what these guys read like. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. They're capable of doing great damage. They're capable of doing great sustainability. I mean, they have the strongest ability in the game. They just can't die from a single one-shot ability. They have great combo potential. They have great cover nullification. Because remember, it's a character with level 2 card draw speed that is able to get nullify cover change effects after landing 2 cards. It happens on both sides of the character, and they can get it off a green card. And then after that, they just stack up crit rate. Crit rate is insane because you do a ton of damage. It's the thing that helps you not care about type disadvantage. You just do that much damage. So those things are strong traits about this character. I do notice they don't have like stacking the damage like the Goku has on the Goku Frieza. They don't have things like, oh, I seal up your main ability and I destroy all the cards in your hand. They don't really do those as freely as Goku and Frieza do. But I think of what they do, they're still very capable characters. I think they're a top 10 character, but they're probably in the lower half. That is just what I see from here. Do keep in mind that they are blue and green. You know how many blue and green Saiyan Zenkai buffers we have? Namek Goku, Super Saiyan Bardock, LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku. The only challenge is going to be throwing a team together with this synergize as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could pair them with the Buu Duo. The Buu Duo take away 10 sub count when a rush is thrown. You throw in this guy. You're basically running a mono blue team, but you got blue and green paired together. Your leader slot a purple character. I don't know, LF Kid Goku. There you go. You got an endurance. You got a guy that can't die. You got support from Kid Goku's unique ability. You got a last stand mode, and you got this guy that just can't be one shot. There's the fire alarm. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comment section below about this kit. The fire stopped. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, but I think they're going to be top 10, but in the lower half. Okay, I gotta go. Until next time. Why is it stop? Until next time. Peace.